Good morning. Happy Wednesday, hump day to everybody out there in Lions Nation, Lions Nation Unite. And today we're going to be talking about some Lions news that is good. And it should be talked about since a lot of negatives be talking about Jameson Williams. Something good with him is being talked about in his training efforts behind the scenes with a wide receiver whom we all respect and love his ability to train and prep for an NFL season. But before we get into today's video, if you're a fan of the Lions and you're a fan of a perspective from a Lions fan as well as a former player, and you like that type of stuff, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now. That's what this channel is all about. It is for you. Give your expressions to the world as your fandom for Detroit. Let's get this thing going. Now, a lot of negativity has surrounded Jameson Williams and what he did with the gambling, fireworks, social media, videos, all sorts of stuff. And the media has piled on the guy. But thank you to Pride of Detroit and their Twitter feed showing up with the training that Jameson Williams do behind the scenes, we get a little bit of positive news for the young wide receiver. Now, I can't play the video, but the video is Jameson Williams working with his releases, working out in training with Amon-Ra St. Brown. We all know that St. Brown may be the best worker trainer probably on the football team. The guy is all about his work. There's no joke about it. He makes sure he gets his training top notch. I mean, his dad really taught them that, him and his brother, that we seen it in Hard Knocks when they were lifting weights. There's no talking, no BSing. It's lift weights, it's train. And Amon-Ra St. Brown has brought that to the Detroit Lions, and he is one of the best workers in all of football, best training in all of football, and it resulted in him being a fantastic draft pick for the Lions, a great leader, a great player on and off the field. And in this video, we're seeing the Jameson Williams and Amon-Ra St. Brown training together. And this is what you want to see. You want to see St. Brown, who now is a veteran, kind of lead the way and show these other players as he gets older too how to prep and train, because he is elite at what he does and his ability to prep for an NFL season. And so now we're seeing it with him and Jameson Williams, and a lot of fans have question marks about Jameson Williams. Me personally, I just want to see it on the field. That is really it. I have no hate, no love for the guy. I just want to see it on the field. I think the media gives him a little bit of too much crap. But other than that, you just want to see it on the field. And some fans question his work ethic. Some fans question his training ethic. Well, guess what, folks? If he's with Amon-Ra St. Brown, that is the person you want him to be with. You want him to be with a guy who is known for absolutely tearing up the practice field, tearing up footballs and catching over 200 before even practice, training after practice. That's the type of mentor you want with Jameson Williams if you're an individual who questions his training, his work ethic, all of the above. So for you fans, this is really good news. Now you can go to Twitter, click on it. You can see the video for yourself. Personally, I knew this was taking place. We all had an idea that the players, they train with each other in the offseason before training camp. That's just what they do. Jared Goff does it at his home. He, gets his weapons, and so they can get on the same page. And when training camp happens a little bit, hopefully ahead of schedule, that's what good leaders do, is they get their players together even when it's not necessary to train, to get on the same page. St. Brown is the exact same way. He wants to train with Jameson Williams. He wants to get him up to speed. And with a guy who is suspended the first 6 games of the year, every single rep, every single minute, second, hour practicing and training is really important for Jameson Williams. Just one less minute, second, hour, day of him not training, getting ready for that Week 7 game. Every snap counts. When you're talking about the Lions attempting to make the playoffs, attempting to win the NFC North and make a run, you need Jameson Williams a full go for that to occur. He only had the one touchdown last year, then a jet sweep. You want to see him produce this year, not one snap or not a handful. You want him to be a part of this offense, especially when we're trying to make a run at the very end of the season and you're trying to win the playoffs. You want him to be involved with Jared Goff in this offense with the play action and deep threat, big play ability. You got to have that in for this season because you're going against teams that have players like that. We're talking playoffs, Eagles, 49ers, Cowboys. They got players. They got players that can take the top off defenses. They got game changers. So we need to have our game changer to be competitive with the top of the NFC. We do. I think the Lions just right now do win the NFC North, but when we're talking about making a run, you're going against the best of the best. When that happens, you need to have the best players on the field. Every player counts. In this case, we want Jameson Williams to be acclimated to this offense faster, sooner, the better. Hopefully this brings a little bit of relief to some of you Lions fans and who question him. I already kind of knew this was going on, so this is not much of a significant update to me. That's what a lot of NFL players do. I think just him and St. Brown together is great. That's what I want to see. I want to see those two tied at the hip because we really don't know Jameson Williams' work ethic, right? There's not really, we've seen much. I think it's pretty good. But we know St. Brown's is excellent. We know St. Brown's is top of the top. We know he preps is one of the hardest in the NFL. We know that. So if he's training with St. Brown, that's a damn good thing for Lions fans because he's practicing hardcore. When you're practicing with Amon-Ra, you're practicing hardcore, and you want that stuff to rub off on Jameson Williams. I would love to see St. Brown do this with all the players because he's so good with his work ethic. He's such a damn good player all around, on the field, off the field, personality-wise. He's just the perfect player, and I'm really happy that he's a Detroit Lion. He's one of the reasons this culture is changing. He is one of those reasons. When you have someone like him in a locker room, it rubs off and people want to kind of adapt to that way. And so you're seeing more of a physical style. You're seeing more of practice means a lot. You're seeing the change of a culture due to players such as a St. Brown. So this is great news for the Lions. Hopefully these two can do this all the way until training camp. When training camp hits, they're together. Yes, they're in the wide receiver room, but I would love to see Jameson Williams before practice with St. Brown and after practice with St. Brown doing the same type of drills that he does. That's only a good thing. And that's something that, as Lions fans, we really want to see. And again, we're going to be at training camp, and what's really good about this is you can see this type of stuff. You're on the field an hour before practice actually occurs. And if you've been to training camp last year, Jamal Williams would always be there, stretching out, throwing footballs, St. Brown doing his thing. So when you get to training camp, you'll know if he's out there before doing some workouts and stuff like that because you can see it before practice starts. So, good news here for JMO. This is normal for St. Brown. This is nothing new there. And hopefully it does alleviate a little bit of worries. I'm still in the same boat here, in all honesty, because I'm not too high, not too low on this. I think I just want to see it on the field. That's it. That's all I want to see. Other than that, that's really I got for Jameson Williams. Folks, we are dropping videos every single day. We are getting ready for training camp, so you make sure you hit that subscribe button for any sort of breaking news, training camp updates of what is going to be taking place on the field. I'll be in studio with Herm all week for training camp. We're going to be talking about, who's doing good, who's doing bad, his thoughts on it, on all of the above. So with that said, folks, adios.